Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. And welcome to my speech on stricter gun control, a path to safer communities. I'm going to start off with a quote from Pew Research Center. In the United States, 44% of adults live in a household with a gun. Yet the country also leads the developed world in gun-related deaths. Why is that? This striking statistic highlights a troubling paradox. While firearms are widespread in America, gun violence remains disproportionately high compared to other developed nations. Gun violence doesn't discriminate. It affects urban and rural communities as well as wealthy and unserving neighborhoods alike. It increases fear in public spaces, strains healthcare and law enforcement resources, and devastates families. Today, I'll argue why the United States must adopt stricter gun control laws. These laws are not just necessary, they save lives, reduce violence, and promote reasonable gun ownership. I'll begin by discussing the evidence supporting stricter gun laws, then examine California's success as a model for reform, and finally address and refute common arguments against gun control. Let's start with the evidence. The connection between stricter gun laws and reduced gun violence is undeniable. According to the Pew Research Center of 2024, the United States experiences more firearm-related deaths than any other high-income country. Over 45,000 Americans die each and every year from gun violence. Whether through suicides, homicides, or unintentional shootings. In contrast, countries with stricter firearms regulations report fewer incidents. Take Australia, for example. After the 1996 Port Arthur massacre, Australia introduced sweeping gun reforms, including a buyback program and stricter licensing requirements. Within 10 years, firearm-related deaths dropped by over 50%. Similarly, in the United Kingdom, enacted strict gun laws following the 1996 Dunblane school shooting. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Today, the UK boasts one of the lowest gun homicide rates in the world. These examples highlight that legislation is a proven tool for reducing gun violence. As Pew Research highlighted, in July of 2024, over 45,000 Americans die from gun-related incidents each year, far exceeding other high-income countries. Like I've said above, these numbers make it clear the United States needs to align with global best practices to save lives. Okay, this is the first time I'm using this. Now let's take a closer look at California. A shining example of how comprehensive gun control works. In 2024, Governor Gavin Newsom signed a bipartisan legislation to tighten regulations on ghost guns, which are untraceable firearms, and to strengthen background checks. This is from the Governor's Office 2024. These measures build on California's already strict laws, which include mandatory waiting periods, restrictions on assault weapons, and background checks for ammunition purchases. The results are undeniable. California is has one of the lowest gun-related death rates in the nation, even though it is the most populous state. According to the governor's office, these policies have made communities safer while respecting the rights of responsible gun owners. As Governor Newsom stated, California's legislation is a key step towards creating safer communities. This success demonstrates that comprehensive gun control is not only feasible, but effective and achievable. It saves lives while maintaining bipartisan support, a model that the rest of the country can follow and should follow. Of course, critics argue against stricter gun control laws, claiming they infringe on Second Amendment rights. However, the Second Amendment guarantees the rights to bear arms. It does not preclude reasonable restrictions for public safety. Historically, regulations on dangerous items like explosives and fully automatic weapons have been upheld as constitutional. Stricter gun control laws, such as universal background checks and bans on high-capacity magazines, can balance individual rights with collective safety. Another common argument is that stricter laws won't stop criminals from obtaining guns illegally. While it's true that some illegal access may persist, evidence from other countries refutes this claim. For example, Australia's strict regulations significantly reduced illegal firearm circulation following the Port Arthur massacre. Here in the United States, unregulated markets for ghost guns and loopholes in private sales allow criminals to obtain firearms by addressing these gaps. We can significantly reduce illegal gun access. Stricter laws make it harder for individuals with malice intent to acquire firearms, creating a safer environment over time. In conclusion, stricter gun control laws are essential to reducing violence, saving lives, and promoting responsible firearm use. The evidence is overwhelming. It supports the link between comprehensive legislation and lower rates of gun violence. It shows California's success, demonstrating that bipartisan policies can lead to tangible improvements in public safety. Concerns about constitutional rights and illegal gun access are not only unfounded, they detract from the urgent need to protect our communities. By advocating for common sense reforms, we can address one of the most pressing public safety issues of our time. Together, you and me with the future can ensure a safer future for everyone in the nation. Thank you.